John Connery, you knucklehead.
No, not you.
Gentlemen,
Nobody
one at a
will
time.
like it.
One at a time, gentlemen.
This one right here.
Yeah, but the monkey threw poop on the dude's face. Like,
All right, welcome to Lightboy Presents. Tonight we'll be talking about The Hunt, the 2020 version starring Hilary Swank and Betty Gilpin. It's a film about wealthy individuals who decide to kidnap and kill working class individuals who've made disparaging social media commentary against their beliefs.
allegedly.
Allegedly. Thank you. Who would like to start the conversation off?
Sam.
Of course. You know what? All I want to say, because I've been thinking about this for a while, I'm going to go right there and say this movie is awesome. From the very beginning, it was undercut from the very beginning. When I went into it and I realized, like, why haven't I heard about this movie? Why isn't it on my list? I realized that it was first released when there was mass shootings. So Universal pulled it off. And they re-released it again. And basically, long story short, is they picked the date Friday the 13th of March, which basically the entire world changed, especially down here where I live in Los Angeles, is that was the last day any kids went to school. And being the release date, I think that had a big effect because within 6 days, all the theaters were shut down. So, but this movie cost $14 million to make. And in that time, with gross domestic and international, it made 11, which is much better than the 120 million of Speed Racer. So I'm just going to say the first time I watched it, Brian told me to calm down. he's like, I'm never sharing these texts that you tell me because I felt it. Like that first scene, when it went off, I felt it. And then when Mike and I put it on the group, and Mike's like, "What does this have to do with the Second Amendment?" I let it go then because I was into the movie, but I'm telling you, this movie, every time I turn off your phone, dude. Come on, bro. I'm frozen.
I see you.
You're good.
No, I know. I'm just so you can edit it. No, the first time I watched this movie, I got through it and I was like, okay, all right, interesting. Has its opinions, has its stuff. Then I was like, let me go watch it again. And I started picking at this. And I saw this. And I saw this. And I said, wait a minute, that leads to that back to that. And then I started to see layers. And I went back to my 3. Could I watch this movie with no sound? Yes. It's visually stimulating. It is. Shut up, Brian and James. Could I watch this with no video and just audio? Yes, I did. I downloaded 2 of the songs on the soundtrack because they're badass.
Nice.
All right. And when you put those together, those 2 things, I think you have a really, really good movie that just suffered like everybody did because of COVID-19 and didn't get what it deserved. And I read some of the reviews that it missed the satire mark. I don't think it did. I think it's fair to both sides, and it makes you look and see how ridiculous both sides are.
I want to pick.
What's the third thing though? You said 2.
When you put both of them together.
Okay.
When you put the visuals and they need to match because sometimes movies don't match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to piggyback on that, Sam. No, I would agree with that. It definitely plays the stereotypes on all sides. I think a lot of the media that hyped this up was, it's a left bashing film and whatnot. But I think that this plays the stereotypes of all sides, and rightfully so. I mean, it's just a fun movie that nobody's safe, and I think that's how a lot of movies should be. I think that nobody should be safe. If you're gonna make fun of one group, make fun of them all.
And that's what it did. And the reason they got so much stuff is because even Trump said, "Oh no, we don't like this movie, this and that." I was like, how many times has he seen it? I guarantee you, I've seen that movie more times than him.
I think you're responsible for 10 million of that 11 million. Sam.
I only paid twice.
Have you guys read Animal Farm as an opening question?
Yeah, back in high school.
I will fess up and say that I finally read that about 15 years ago. I was not assigned that in high school, and decided to do some catching up at some point in my life, and read it about 15 years ago.
I saw Animal House.
If not 18 years ago.
I
I've never seen
struggle. Like I said, I watched it 5 times. I struggle with tying that theme into the film. I mean, it's obviously a very prevalent theme, but you know,
What theme?
that's the story of Animal Farm.
So disagree with that.
I've never seen Animal Theme, so I don't know what that has to do with the movie.
I guess the liberal elites, the ones that are hunting, are supposed to be akin to communists, right? And so that's why she's Snowball. But it just didn't fit as well for me. I mean, I understand that's part of the political culture currently, but yeah, I could have done without the reference.
Well, because it's what is it? What's the quote? Some all animals are equal, but some are more
equal than others.
Yeah.
Oh, that's but they don't see if they had used that quote.
Well,
that would have tied it in. You're right. That would have been good.
I don't think they need to. I don't think they need to spell it out, though. You know,
I hear you.
I'm kind of glad that they didn't. I think that look, I didn't know what I was getting into when I watched this.
Neither did I. I had no idea. No idea.
Yeah, no, this was the first time we all watched this was for this project, right?
Yeah, it was.
But
good.
I didn't know how extreme it was going to be as far as the graphic gore factor. So I'm like, nope, 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 not.
You know
really?
What grabbed me though?
For real.
Oh my. Yeah.
Because I don't like horror movies. I'll be honest with you. I do not watch them.
Horror.
If somebody says it, but when this one said it was a horror thriller, I was like, let me check it out. But then basically you see the eyeball on the high heel. Okay, I guess that's horror. The girl laying on the spike when she's half. Okay, I guess that's horror. To me, that's just a war movie.
I wouldn't call it horror.
That's the thing that got me so much about this movie from the get-go.
One at a time, gentlemen.
Is because you're watching it and you don't know who the characters are. You don't know who the hero is or the heroine. And then a bunch of people freaking die like right off the bat. And you're like, oh, this is the new hero.
That is the hero.
And they all die. And I was like, it was good in that respect. It kept me being like, wait.
Yeah, that was something that I actually really liked was, once they're off the airplane and they're following, who's the actress? Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
They're following her character, and so you're like, sweet, and then boom.
Yeah, and that's what I said. That was my note. I'm like, I guess it's not about. It's not about the girl in the vest.
That's exactly what I said. I think her character name is Yoga Pants Girl.
That's the credit.
Reading a review, and I think she's Yoga Pants Girl.
Sam, you look like you had something you wanted to say. Was that a spoiler alert thing you wanted to do, Sam? About
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm telling you why that happened. And I thought the same thing. There was not an inciting incident that's going to change the direction of the movie until Crystal walks into that store. Everybody's getting wasted.
Yeah.
Period.
Exactly.
That's the whole point.
Exactly. I just didn't think it was. I did not think it was going to happen that soon because I thought it was going to be kind of like, the old one, the dangerous game, the most dangerous game, or something like that. That one from the 70s or whatever that was. I think you referenced it in a message, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm familiar with that. I don't think I'd ever seen it, but I really thought it was going to be like a slow pecking order kind of a thing because I'm a big fan of Ethan Suplee, or Suplee, or however you want to pronounce his name, from all the Kevin Smith movies, Chasing Amy and Mallrats and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
He was great.
And I was really looking forward to seeing him as the main character, and
No, he has a bit part.
Shut the fuck up, Gary.
That didn't last long. Oh my, no, that was great. It's like, Jesus,
Well,
nope, Gary.
Don't fucking move!
You lower your gun? I'm a friendly.
How do I know that?
You should pull that door handle. Then you'll blow the fuck up, and then you'll know.
Oh,
When she came into the store, though, that was I just got the inkling the first time I saw it. I was like, she knows that's too much for the cigarettes.
You're in the glorious state of Arkansas. Is there anything else that...
And sure enough,
Yeah, especially when she smashes.
$6 in Arkansas, bitch. You fucked up. It's good.
Well, I knew that was the turning point when she grabbed Ma's head and slammed it in there,
Right.
jumped over, grabbed the 12 gauge, blew Pa away, and then turns down to her and basically says that. I was like, okay, that changed the script right there.
Yeah.
Now things are different. Because before, the guy from New York, let's call 911. Okay, you guys are coming? Oh, no, she's dying. Help us. And then the other guy with the whatever he's from Orlando, and they put the smoke in his face, the poison gas.
Yeah.
They're all done. And then she's like, clean it up, you know. And then the funny part, he's like, remember the soda? You
Yeah.
poisoned it. There's 43 grams of sugar in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're
Right.
killing. That's the satire. You're killing people. You know that. You shouldn't have that much sugar.
Honey, that's poison!
You rigged the soda?
No. There are 43 grams of sugar in that bottle.
good God, Miranda, you really
I
scared
am
me.
not going to apologize for caring.
So to me, those are one of those points that you realize you haven't found out the point that turns the movie yet.
Right.
And I agree with you, Sam. I think it is a satire as opposed to a dark comedy. I had to spend time thinking about it, but I think you're right.
I think both things can be true at once. I don't think it has to be one or the other.
Yeah.
But I think there were some clever things. I think it was a clever trick with the compass on the leaf with the needle. It was very clever.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. The first time that we see the main character, Crystal, she's getting a static charge on a pin, putting it on a leaf to create a compass.
Yeah.
Hey! Hey! Hello?
I'll tell you though, I commend him. That was a little too claustrophobic for me. I don't know if I could shoot a movie with a freaking bar gag in my mouth.
Sure.
Save
No
your comments. I said, I'm going to set myself up for it.
Speaking of which, so when they're doing that, and Gary is at the box, and it was kind of like a Hunger Games kind of throwback for me when they go to the box, and he's got the gag in his mouth. He says "twap twap," but the Gary character, or not Gary, Don. Don.
Yeah.
Bring Don. Is he actually in with the bad guys or not?
No.
I think that's an open question. I think he's not.
I would agree, but I think it's kind of open as well. But I think we can kind of go with the fact that
No, dude,
he clarifies it.
He's a comic relief.
Yeah.
He's a comic relief.
She kills a good guy then. I mean, really?
Yeah.
Because Athena played it. She
Right.
on the radio. She
No,
says,
I know.
"Hey, Don, did you kill Crystal yet?"
Yeah.
I don't know who she is. He's telling her, but as somebody, he's got a gun. Dude, this guy. What is wrong with you, woman? She kicked a dude out of a car, backed up and ran over his head. Then tells him a story And he's like, your mama told you that story?
I
And then
wanted
she
you
pulls a knife out of his head. Yeah, would you
wanted
trust
to
her?
hear
I'd be like, you're a little different.
your feelings on the Jackrabbit story, Sam, because I know you have strong feelings on the Jackrabbit story.
No, I don't have really strong feelings. I like the way. I mean, at first it was kind of. I was like, okay, this is kind of stupid. It's a rabbit in the hair.
Right.
But then when she took it to no, the jackrabbit went to the tortoise's house,
Yeah.
killed all of them, and they ate their food.
But no, I mean, like I said, I didn't know what we were getting into, and then like I think I've been screaming. Not screamed. I even said it out loud, like, "Oh fuck!" Right when and that's why I said so much for following the main character, because she gets her head blown off right there. She gets a shot to the head.
What are you talking about at the beginning?
Don't even come in until you're far into the film.
And then the birthday girl was. I mean, talk about raising the stakes with that character.
With the punji pit.
When she gets thrown back on the spikes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
yeah, but that leads back to the satire too, because she's like, shoot me, I can't do that. Effing snowflake, boom,
boom,
right? So she called somebody who's a deplorable snowflake because he couldn't handle it, and she did.
So before we get further in, because I don't want to because this is going to be going back to the beginning. So
we're all over the place right now, bro.
I know we are.
Okay.
So it turns out that a guy that I worked with, I did a show with back in 2006, I think, actually did stunts in this movie.
Oh, sweet.
Casey Hendershot. Casey was actually going to try and chime in. He was going to try and join us, but unfortunately, Casey's celebrating his 12th anniversary, so they're having dinner.
Oh, thank God you didn't say 12th birthday, bro.
No.
Making me nervous, James.
Casey actually stunt doubled the guy in the beginning who woke up early on the plane.
Okay.
Who got the
okay.
the jab to the eye?
Randy, right?
Yeah, but there wasn't a lot of stunts for him to do, so I wound up standing in for most of the time for the guy. But I guess the one story that he did share is that when he gets dragged in, he's laying down. They ask him to fall back into the scene for the camera, and what he does, I guess he just ripped ass really bad, just loud, just like, and everybody was just like, they lost it. So, the classic.
Nice.
But
nice.
I was hoping he was going to have some good stories for us to share. But
that's a good story, bro.
Yeah.
So, with the heel into the eye, it seems to me that's like a 3 or 4 inch long stiletto. That should have pierced his brain.
I mean, give him a lobotomy. But I don't know, because you've got eye socket. I don't know how dense the bone is when you go into an eye.
Wait, heel made of metal though. How the hell does a heel go through an eye?
Okay, you guys.
Stand still, Brian. Let's find out.
You guys have to suspend your disbelief for a few things in this movie. Okay. One, if I put a grenade down somebody's pants, most likely they will have time to pull it out. It's not like, where to go? I don't know where it is. Oh my God! Boom! They vaporized.
That was a great.
The worst one that I really it was at the end, and I'm like, you know what? All right, I'll just suspend my disbelief because it's the ending. She had a food processor blade shoved in her stomach.
Yeah, she did.
She stands up with the chef's blowtorch, cauterizes it, and puts on an evening dress and goes, no. No, bro.
She is, man.
No. Oh, dude.
That badass.
Okay, and that's why I suspended my disbelief. Because in real life, there ain't no effing way that would ever happen.
Okay.
And puts on sunglasses and walks away. So there's certain parts in this movie that you just have to say, okay.
Wait. You don't think anybody solderized their own wound?
It's not solderized. You're seeing sodomy.
Cauterized.
Sodomy, whatever.
The ending, the end fight was by far the best scene in the film. I love that first of all, she makes the Gruyere. Okay, you're calling timeout.
Yeah, I lost visuals on Mike. Okay, Mike's back. Okay. No, I just want to say that. I lost visuals on Mike. Okay.
First of all, she makes the Gruyere, which then at the end she eats. So it ties into the Jackrabbit story.
I thought she was going to die, bro. I was like, oh, no, don't eat it. Don't eat it.
What I love, though, is they're fighting with these common household instruments, like you said, it's a Cuisinart, right? Is the ultimate killing weapon. And I think that's really ironic, considering she's supposed to be this, you know, a liberal elite mogul. But by far,
she said no guns. Remember, she said no guns.
She's a cheater. But by far, my favorite part, and it was from the very first time I saw it, was when they've gone outside, they've crashed through a glass door, and they're about to come back in, and she's Crystal's gonna throw Hilary Swank through another glass door, and Hilary Swank says glass door, and so she stops.
No, she said no more glass.
I've been trying to figure out, because at first I thought she said no, it's glass.
No,
and
saying
but
no
I've
more
said it a
glass.
couple
They've
times.
already gone through
But-
glass, and she doesn't want to get thrown again. She's like, no
Right,
more glass.
right. But that's, and I love that though. Like, it cracks me up. She's and she doesn't do it. She has the respect, and she doesn't throw her through the glass again. That's hilarious.
Now, I don't know if this is a podcast that they have, or if it's a Facebook page, or if it's a website page. But I guess there's this thing or debate on whether or not Hilary Swank is hot.
That was from The Office.
Okay, there you go. Because I don't.
Yeah, no, it's in The Office. They have a big debate about it, whether or not.
I think that debate's over at this point. I think in this movie, Hilary Swank looks good in this movie.
I do not think Hilary Swank is hot. I think she's mannish.
Is she doable?
Boys don't
Well,
cry.
that's a different
Brian.
question.
Boys don't cry, Brian.
Well, if it's scale of 1 to 10, where does hot end? Does that have to be an 8, or is it a 6?
An 8 to a 10, I think.
Or is that how many beers you had? I just want to know your point of reference.
I think the Crystal chick is hotter. I'll just go there. I think she's hotter than Hilary Swank.
I think she's a better actress, to be honest with you.
Hilary Swank is a great actress. Don't get me wrong.
No, I think the other one is. What's her name? Betty Gilspin or whatever. Gilpin, yeah.
I've never seen her in any other movie.
No, but she nailed this role. Everybody gets one.
Yeah.
You know, another thing I like, she is so respectful. She says, "No, ma'am," like when she's dying on the floor.
You read Animal Farm? Yes, ma'am, I did.
No, I give her credit.
That's her character, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, I hope you're talking about the character. I don't know what Betty Gilpin in real life is. No, there were some. I will tell you, there were some great fights. That fight scene at the end was brilliant, and I really like the camera follow when they go outside and they sound muffles. You know, I think that was very clever. I love the
rabbit at the end.
No, not that part.
The champagne at the end.
No,
Rabbit always wins.
The through the fireplace. That throw through the fireplace. Was great. And I could do without the rifle pinch. That was a little.
Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
I was like, oh,
it's horror.
Yeah. I will say no. There was some good camera stuff. I really enjoyed the. There was a move when they're following the embassy car. We got the over the head shot, and it comes over and it comes back through the windshield. It's a good shot.
Well, like I said, it hits my visuals on this one.
Yeah, and there was a table slam angle that they did as well. When one of the girls gets slammed at the table, but the camera move in that was brilliant. Mike, you'll find that at 1:15:25 for a timestamp if you need it. But yeah, and Brian, as a matter of fact, I did write that line down. It's no more glass. No more glass.
Yeah, no more glass. That
You sure it wasn't no more ass?
it could be.
You can edit that one out, Mike.
it
I would
was
say
actually the best.
I would
It
say
was
the adult version, but
and the fact that she didn't throw her through, you know, I mean,
Well, I don't think it. She would have thrown her through, but she actually pawed the door open.
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to go back and
think
check that.
I think she chose not
Damn
to.
it, 10 times wasn't enough. I can't believe you guys caught me on this one.
Wait, hang on, Brian. You think she chose what?
I think she chose not to throw her through. I
No,
think
because she says no more glass.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but I think that, and that's why I really liked it, because they're trying to kill each other, and she's like, no more glass, and she doesn't throw her through the damn door.
No,
it's brilliant.
I like how she saves the Dom Perignon. No, not that. She
No,
puts it
the-
down.
No.
Okay, so that's what I was saying earlier. The champagne at the end.
The 1907.
You have to go back to the beginning,
Uh-huh.
and the dude at the beginning saes they found this champagne in a German U-boat, and that Athena
Oh, and that was it?
$50,000 per bottle for it.
Okay.
And so that's
I missed that one.
I was trying to research it to see if that's a real thing. I couldn't find it, but yeah.
4 times, Sam. 4 times. You missed that.
Hey, is that the Heidsick?
I'm sorry.
A German sub sank a ship on the way to Tsar Nicholas II. A couple years back, they found the wreck and a case of the 1907 Heidsick. They sent a little robot down there to bring it back up. Athena bought 3 bottles at $250K per.
Mike?
Yeah. I'm just looking over my notes here. One of the things that I found interesting was what is it, Athena, the Hilary Swank character?
Yes.
She was completely removed. It was all of her friends out in the bunker. She was back at her rental place and not really participating in the hunt to what I could see overall.
Well, she was controlling it though.
She was in radio contact, but
She was. Yeah.
But I think that goes back to the point about Animal Farm. You know, she's Napoleon. She's, some animals are more equal than others.
Well, what's her character's name? Is it
Athena?
But didn't he refer to her as chief or something like that, or in some? I don't know. Never mind. It was. I could have sworn that they.
Athena is a goddess with no
that.
mother. Okay, no, but that's why they named her that.
She's the goddess of wisdom.
No, but I know. But I wanted to say that there's a reference to the chief. I don't know if that's from the movie or if I caught it somewhere
I think that's the National Guard security expert that they recruited to train them.
No,
I think I could be wrong.
But that's an interesting point that she's removed from it, and and why.
I don't know if she's removed from it. In the very beginning, she stabs that guy with a stiletto hill into his eye in front of everybody and says, "This is how you take care of it," basically.
Right.
So maybe she's not that far removed of it, but she's letting them do what they need to do, and as long as things are progressing,
no reason to get your own hands dirty, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you buy that Betty's character
Crystal?
Crystal.
Yeah, do you buy that Crystal, that she was the cause of that? Like she said, like,
I was going to ask the same thing.
This was a joke, and you guys made it happen. Do you buy that, or do you think that this was?
No, I don't. I think they were going to do it anyway.
But do you think that this is the first time? Is what I'm saying.
I had that question for you guys as well, and honestly, I think it is, and I say that only because of how, I don't want to say unorganized, but how easily some were dispatched.
Well, I agree with that, but in the text in the beginning where this all starts, they talk about going to the manor and killing deplorables.
And that's why
she says nothing more fun, as if it's happened before.
Exactly.
So
that's why
I would lean towards it probably has happened before.
Though I will say that, you've got the Ma and Pa talk about, it's gonna be easier because we'll build the gas station for pennies.
Well, that had to do with being in Croatia.
No, exactly. But that's where they were.
Right.
Yeah. So that's not to say that it hasn't happened before. I'm saying that it's a possibility that it has not happened before because of that.
Because of that, and also with their National Guardsmen, he mentioned that Athena had been training for like 7 or 8 months. So
Right.
8 months.
Yeah, to me that leads once again to first time that this has happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I found it, and that's a callback as well, or not a callback, but it goes kind of like what you were pointing out, Sam. Is like it's making the social commentary about all aspects, and I think they cover that. And the fact that you do something that gets caught and it doesn't represent the company, and you get the boot for something that's kind of in a way silly.
No, I know, but it's just what you guys are talking about is what you see in the movie, and I agree with all of you. But obviously, I went a little bit deeper and I read some synopses on the film, and basically what they said is that because she posted certain things and they saw those texts, like that flashback where she's with what was it, the corporate guy with the glasses, and that lady was reading the text messages.
Right. Exactly.
That was a flashback that basically they got busted. She lost her job. Everybody else, they lost their. This is a synopsis I was reading. I didn't get this from the film. The synopsis I was reading, they all lost their jobs, so they decided, hey, let's make it happen.
Right.
And that, so if you're saying, did you get that information from the film? I didn't really see that.
Okay.
I mean, one could divert that. You could see that, but when I read that, I was like, okay, well, I didn't really see that clearly, but it makes more sense when you read that sort of the synopsis that this is like a play-by-play of the whole script. Right. So I don't know. That I think that's to each their own.
Okay.
What do you think, Brian? You there?
Yeah, I got that from the film. I'm
okay.
Processing because I totally got that.
Likewise.
Okay. No, I'm just saying because I read it differently and I saw it differently. So that's
sure. No, well, I think
that's why we're talking.
But
exactly.
I think you pick up interesting layers as well, Sam. That especially going back and catching things as many times as you. How many times you watch it?
10, he said.
I tried to watch it more, but I was gonna call you James because it won't play on my computer for some reason. Mac, it won't let me put my iTunes on it, and I was trying to Google it and YouTube it, but it won't let me play them on my MacBook. And then when I tried it on my phone, because obviously I'm not in California right now, it just kept saying that it wouldn't download. So I was like, well, I think I've seen it enough times I can comment on it.
Sure, absolutely.
I saw it 5 times. 10 is a lot. I mean, it's a good movie. Yeah.
But I haven't seen it 10 times all the way through. I mean, I've probably seen it maybe 7 or 8 times all the way through. But then, I was like, oh, you know what? You guys would say something on the thread, so I would just watch the final scene, or I would just watch the beginning scene. Yeah. Because there's so many little things that I totally forgot about the rabbit at the end of the fight scene until you put your timestamp on it. And I'm like, oh shit, I totally missed that part about the Jack. And that's why I would go back and I would say, okay, I missed something because you get caught up in it and then you don't see these little things that happen.
Right. Sure.
So, anyway. James?
I'm waiting for Mike.
Ryan?
Yeah, no, a lot of what I have notes on are things that that we've touched on already. I have a nitpicky thing as a carpenter with the crate at the beginning. The whole thing's put together with screws, with the exception of the nails that they're prying out. And in fact, when he actually pulls it off, the interior, there's screws that are there. So
and not nails?
Yeah, no. Well, there's the nails that are holding it to the rest of the crate, but when it pulls it off, there's screws that are attaching the inner slats to the outer slats there. So, the whole thing was made with screws, with the exception of that one area to pry out. And just as a carpenter, it's like, why?
Maybe that's the only part they wanted them to open.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
Sure.
Seems a logical side to me.
Whop.
Are you whopping over there, Brian?
That's what he said. He goes, whop. Don, he's got the thing in his mouth. Whop.
Cardi B.
He's
Admiral Akbar.
Hey, bro, he's a comic relief. What is wrong with you, woman?
I
So
did.
Bring Don.
Bring Don.
I did like them using the pig as a distraction to infiltrate the bunker.
Yeah,
I
that
was just
good.
going to ask about the symbolism of the pig.
Orwell.
They're vegans. They don't eat pigs. That's what he said, right? Why do they have a pig?
Sure, but I'm
Exactly
thinking
what he
there's more
said.
to it. There's more to it than that. I think there's
Maybe
more
we
of a
need to watch it
symbolism
the
behind
11th time.
Well, they named it Orwell after the author of Animal Farm.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah.
I didn't see. I would never have gotten that part. That's a deeper layer. I haven't got that deep in the onion yet.
I've read the book.
Was it Orwell or Orville? Because isn't it Orville the name of the pig?
Orwell.
in Charlotte's Web?
George Orwell.
Now I know that.
Orwell!
No.
No, they named the pig Orwell. And there was Snowball, obviously, and I think there was another Animal Farm reference.
We named the dog Indiana.
I think they named one of the characters Squealer or something. Yeah,
Different
I can't
movie,
remember.
Brian.
Yeah.
Squeal like a pig, boy. Squeal like a pig.
Ah.
All right.
Yeah.
Like it's an awesome movie, bro. I wish I had my little note to put. This movie's awesome. But unfortunately, I ran out of those sticky notes.
They didn't give you any stationery there in the hotel room?
Can you believe that? There's nothing in here. There's no pens. There's there's no pad. There's nothing, dude.
I bet you there's a Book of Mormon in that drawer, though.
No, dude, every single drawer is empty.
What?
Wow.
No, I'm telling you.
Bible?
There's nothing, man. They won't even come clean the room.
Really?
Are you at Motel 6 or something?
No, dude, I'm in a nice motel in Cedar City.
They're in a COVID 6, dude.
Yeah, no, they told you they're like, unless you're staying 3 or 4 nights, we're not coming. We'll deliver whatever you want 24 hours a day. You can text us, we'll bring it to you, but we're not going inside the room. So, hey, at least I can eat inside a restaurant like a normal person, unlike LA. That was nice to sit down and have a meal and have the waitress bring it and sit down, talk to people, and
One of these days. I will say that, going back to your point, Sam, I think that you got to figure that if it was released on the 13th, I mean, you got to remember that weekend is when everything locked down in California.
That's when it all.
Yep. That's what I said.
No, but you didn't. But you said 6 days later. It didn't even get 6 days.
Well, this is what I was reading online, saying that's what they believe hold it up, because they systematically started within 6 days to shut every single theater down.
Right. But that's my point. Is like, so, I mean, California's a larger state. I mean, other states followed, but I mean, you take California out of the mix and probably New York as well.
Yeah.
Those larger populated states, probably did a doozy on it,
Right.
Yeah, but still, if it made 11 million, it cost 14 million.
Yeah.
It did pretty damn good for, being hit in the pandemic. And, it's one of those movies you have to watch again. You can't just, you watch it the first time and you go, oh, this was cool. And I remember this and that, and we're done.
Right.
It's not one of those movies.
Yeah.
So I think it was one of the first ones to suffer, just like everything else. But this movie's deeper than what they gave it to, or they gave for it at the very beginning, when they were just like, oh, it's against liberals, it's against Trump supporters.
Well, yeah, Rush Limbaugh even talked about it on his show when it came out, and he was very unhappy about its content.
How many times did he watch it though? That's my point. Like you said, because I got pissed off the first time I watched it, and Brian's like, dude, calm down.
You're going to, if you look for the things like that, you're going to find them. That's just all there is to it.
Yeah, I know, but they make fun of each other.
No, I know.
They put the ridiculous in both sides, and that's why I think it is a satire.
No, and that's that's my point. You can see that, I can see it, but some of those other people, they get those things in their head, and they're going to look at, oh, this is one side bashing, and they're not going to see. Well, they're not going to be able to hold the mirror up in front of themselves to see,
Well, James, they get paid for that point of view. No, they do.
Fair enough.
Rush Limbaugh's not going to go on there and say, well, it was fair to every. No, he's not going to say that. They're not paying him to hear that. They don't want to hear him say that.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, they want him to say that. Oh, you see, he did it. He said that, so it must be true. That's where it's polarizing like that.
Yeah.
But if you watch it and you're fair, like Brian said, they win this. But there's points in the movie where you're like when Gary comes out, crisis actor, crisis. I posted this 50 times, crisis actor. Well, Gary, maybe they don't believe you. You see, and he goes nuts.
Sir, excuse me. I don't know exactly where we are, but I'm an American. American.
American?
Yeah. Her too. Look, let me explain everything, sir, because I know exactly what's going on here, okay? These are not real refugees. These are crisis actors. Look, I have a podcast. I've been exposing these people, okay? They were placed on the train as a part of Manorgate. This has all been an elaborate trap to try to ensnare us.
To są ci ludzie? Wy nie znam pusto. On kaže se američki. Ne znam. Ty ne znaš? Tam. I don't think they believe you, Gary.
And then he's
climate
like,
change deniers. He
yeah,
probably-
right.
were-
I'm not
and
your
not just on
buddy.
Twitter.
Dude,
Not-
I've met people like that. The people that will claim it's a crisis actor thing. I'm like, oh, drives me nuts.
No, but it's the same thing with Mom and Pa.
I read
When he
yeah,
literally
it
killed
is.
people. They killed 3 people. Well, he probably uses the N-word.
Exactly.
And he uses it in public.
in public.
Well, you can't call them black people anymore. Yes, I can. Who said
NPR.
NPR? Well, who runs NPR? Mostly white people. Oh, we're the worst. Right?
He's a monster. Honey, he probably uses the N-word. And not even in private. He probably uses it on Twitter. Those people suffered 400 years of bondage at the hands of that piece of shit's ancestors.
Those people?
Sorry, black people.
African Americans.
Honey, it's-
Privilege, Julius.
It's perfectly fine to call them black again.
According to who?
NPR.
Which consists almost exclusively of
White people. We're the fucking worst.
I read,
Oh my God.
I read that the Gary character is based on Joe Rogan, which I don't listen to Joe Rogan. I have no idea, but I thought that was interesting.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Which one was Gary again? Is that the one who has the
That's that.
The radio
the-
show.
yeah?
The actor from
Okay,
your
yeah.
boy Kevin Smith. All
Yeah.
these little movies.
No,
Willem.
I know. I couldn't.
Mallrats.
I couldn't remember Ethan's character's name. No, it could be, yeah, but I don't think Ethan Suppley's character is much more extreme as far as his talk show host.
No, yeah.
I've never
Rogan's
listened
a
to
little
Joe
more-
Rogan. I have no idea.
Rogan's a little more middle of the road. He doesn't, he doesn't sway too hard either direction. I think he's, except for maybe a Bernie supporter a bit,
I don't know.
Well,
I'm just talking about the movie, bro.
I give it 2 thumbs up. Sam
For the
gives it
movie?
3.
Well, I won't show it, but yeah, I give it 3. What do you think, James? Would you watch it again?
Would I watch it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch it again.
Okay.
I if I was flipping through and it happened to be on, I don't know if I'd go search it out and say I'm going to do it again. So.
Well, this is a funny story. You can edit this out if you want to. The first time I started watching this movie, my oldest came over. He's 8, and he watched the first opening scene. And I was like, "You want to watch the movie with me?" It's not a movie for kids. He walked away. To the last picture I sent you guys, they were both watching it. I'm like, "You guys, I'm going to turn it off. It's not over yet." Right? Which tells you it's visually stimulating because they don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't know what it's all about. But so I said it's visually stimulating. And they absolutely, you know how many times I rewired the hand grenade in the pants? They thought that was like the best scene ever when he just vaporized.
That's awesome.
Of course, man. It's Looney Tunes.
Yeah. I was like, that really wouldn't happen in real life. But, it's one of those points you just suspend your disbelief and be like, it's part of the satire. It's part of the dark comedy or whatever you guys want to call it. But yeah. So anyway, I give this one 2 thumbs up. Thank you, Mike. I never would have watched this movie. I wouldn't even have known about it. Until you guys told me.
I just heard a couple things about it right around the start of the pandemic and, didn't really seem interesting for me to watch at that time. But as a movie that I've not seen, and now that we're doing this series, I thought, might as well give it a go.
Yeah, no. And I was initially turned off because you guys said horror. And I'm like, I hate horror movies, dude. I thought it was going to be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something. I'm like, God damn, I got to sit through this. And then when I turn on, I'm like, this isn't horror. I mean, the eyeball one, I get that, and the girl laying out. But to me, I've seen worse stuff. And
The
what is
gore
that, Saving
doesn't-
Private Ryan?
Gore doesn't make a movie a horror movie.
Well, but when you look at it, it says horror/thriller.
Right.
Right. I was expecting it to be a horror film, and I was glad it was not.
Yeah. A bunch of horror bashers here, man.
I like horror movies, but no, this movie was pleasantly surprising. It, like I said, from
Absolutely.
the get-go, you don't know what's going on. People are dying, and you think they're the heroes, and then it just moves.
Yeah, it gets you. I'm telling you, Brian. I felt it. I know. I text you. You're like, calm down.
You were all pissed. I felt
pissed,
really bad
dude.
too because I thought you had seen the whole thing, and I was like, "Yeah, but they win at the end," and you're like, "Oh, okay, I'll keep watching." And I was like, oh.
Well, because I haven't got to the part with Crystal yet. I was like, everybody's dying, and then he's like, "You just pull the trigger. It's not hard." I was like, "Oh, that's when I sent you the second. This is why we have the Second Amendment. Like, you need to learn how to shoot. You can't just walk around your whole damn life and never know how to use a gun." It's like, this is the point that when something happens, you're like, I don't know what to do. Right? That's when I text you. You're like, what does this have to do with watching a movie? But I was at that moment, I was already.
You were too.
I had blinders on, and I was into the movie.
Sure.
But I don't know if I meant to send that to the thread or to Brian, but
Yeah.
it was at that point. But anyway.
Awesome. Any final thoughts, guys?
I've stated everything.
It was good. I think it was well made. It's a fun movie.
It's too bad it didn't make more money.
What's your point?
Is it? Oh, there we go. No, I thought it was a very clever little piece of what do you want to call it? It's not symbolism, but I don't know if anybody paid attention to the gas station sign.
I looked at it. It said "Mon, pause, come." It said like "come get something" or
It said "seek and find."
"Seek and find." That's it.
Which is exactly what was going on with the. They were playing a hide and seek as far as.
One more layer to the onion. You see?
I know. It's how a movie should be. If there's not a layer.
No, I agree.
In any
I agree.
movie, if there's a movie that doesn't have a layer or two to it, it's a terrible movie.
No, I agree.
Fair.
And
You could
this
take
one
that
had
to
many.
bank.
There you go.
So,
No, I agree
thought
with
it
you.
was very clever.
Very clever. I agree. Awesome.
Awesome. All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you for taking the time and getting together, and we'll figure out the next one. And
Looking forward to doing it again.
Oh, absolutely.
I like when she pees and she tells Gary to shut the fuck up.
That reminds
I was
me of
just like out
Kendra.
of the blue. She's just like, "I'm gonna take a piss. Shut the fuck up, Gary."
Fucking prigs.
we hope you've enjoyed tonight's discussion. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment. Regardless, thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Take care.